This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. Tesla is building an FSD R&D team in China that could unlock massive amounts of revenue for the company. Today, its full self-driving has yet to be approved for use in China, partly over concerns that the data generated by its vehicles is not stored in China. Tesla vehicles have been banned from military bases, and an airport in eastern China just banned the EVs from its parking lots because it's worried about Tesla's Sentry mode, which records video when the car is parked. Tesla responded by saying the data is saved on a USB drive inside the car and no one can view it online. And now Gasgoo reports that Tesla has built its own data center in China, and all the data generated by its vehicles sold in the country will be stored there. And this could pave the way for FSD, which would be huge for the company because it isn't offered in China yet. Tesla is reportedly building a team that will start to train the system for Chinese roads. And if Tesla is able to bring FSD to China, it would cause a massive revenue spike. Right now, owners in the US are paying $15,000 to unlock the self-driving technology. Ford CEO Jim Farley once again rated Apple for the tech talent that he needs. The former VP of Apple Services, Peter Stern, will lead a completely new division called Ford Integrated Services. He'll be in charge of building a team that creates and markets experiences for ICE, EV, and commercial vehicle customers that also integrates hardware, software, and services together. And right on cue, Ford announced it's installing BlueCruise hardware in more vehicles. For the 2024 model year, it expects to build 500,000 Ford and Lincoln vehicles that have BlueCruise capability. It's also offering a free trial for the tech, as well as a 3-year, yearly, or monthly payment plan. The 3-year plan has to be activated at purchase and costs $2,100. Or it can be unlocked later for $800 a year, or customers can pay $75 a month. And if customers decide they don't want BlueCruise at all, they've still got adaptive cruise control. But this is clearly a money-making move for Ford. The UAW labor negotiations with the Detroit Three keeps getting more politicized. In May, UAW President Shawn Fain said the union would not endorse President Biden for re-election unless he gave the union more support. That was a shock because historically, the UAW has always endorsed the Democratic nominee for president. Last month, 28 Democratic senators sent letters to the CEOs of the Detroit Three saying they backed the union's push for higher wages. And yesterday, President Biden urged both the union and the automakers to come to a fair agreement before the current contract expires on September 14th. However, this is a tricky situation for Biden. Politically, he has to show support for the union. But if a costly strike starts to hurt the U.S. economy, it could damage his re-election campaign and he might have to step in. So these contract negotiations are already getting a lot more attention than they normally do.
At Teijin Automotive Technologies, we combine world-class composite materials expertise with cutting-edge designs because, frankly, there are better ways to lightweight vehicles. So lighten up with Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
Just a day after it cut the price of the Model Y in China, Tesla, in a way, is slashing the starting price of the Model S and X in the US by $10,000. It came out with new base models that have less range and are slower. The Model S now starts just over $80,000 and has a range of 320 miles compared to 405 miles for the regular version. And the Model X now starts just over $90,000 with 269 miles of range compared to 348 for the regular model. While sales of the Model Y and 3 are going strong in the US, the S and X have struggled this year. According to Experian, Model S registrations fell 55% in the first half, and Model X registrations were down nearly 6%. Looks like Ford made a smart move by switching to LFP, or lithium iron phosphate batteries, for the standard range version of the Mach-E. According to the EPA, a rear-drive Mach-E with the old NMC, or nickel manganese cobalt pack, has an estimated 247 miles of range, but the LFP battery is nearly the same at 250 miles. The LFP pack is bigger, 72 versus 70 kilowatt hours, but that also means there's some packaging efficiencies. Plus, LFP batteries tend to be about 20% cheaper and last longer on average. So Ford is saving money and customers are getting a more reliable product, which is something that Ford hasn't been doing a great job of recently. Chinese automaker Wuling revealed a new sedan called the Starlight. The model features its new design language, and it will be offered as both a BEV and a PHEV. The BEV features a 100 kilowatt motor and an LFP battery, but its capacity wasn't revealed. And the PHEV is powered by a 1.5-liter engine, but no details on the electric part of the powertrain were shared. The Starlight will be produced by GM's Chinese joint venture in China, and it will go on sale in the fourth quarter of the year. While pricing wasn't revealed, Car News China speculates it could start a little over $20,000. Yesterday, we showed you how the world's biggest automakers rank in terms of how many cars they sell, and Toyota topped the list. Another fascinating way to rank them is by how much revenue they generate for each vehicle they sell. And this is something of an eye-opener. Mercedes tops the list, earning over $81,000 in revenue for every car it sold. That's substantially better than BMW in second place at about $57,000. Tesla is in third place just behind BMW at $54,000. And then there's a big drop down to Ford, the Volkswagen Group, Stellantis, and Toyota, all in the $30,000 segment. GM is in 8th place, and one thing that hurts it are all those cheap $5,000-ish Wuling Mini EVs that it sells in China. Nissan is right behind GM, with another drop to Honda, and it's very surprising that the Hyundai Group was in last place with an average of only $19,000 in revenue for each vehicle it sold. But we have to remember that Hyundai and Kia sell a lot of cheap cars in developing markets around the world. And that brings us to the end of today's report. Thanks for tuning in.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. Scheffler, we pioneer motion. And by Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility. We want to know what drives your testing. OTA, connected car, diagnostics, remote testing. Intrepid Control Systems is here to help you work from anywhere. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
At Scheffler, we pioneer motion. Electrifying mobility, manufacturing smarter, reducing CO2 emissions, making energy production clean. Scheffler pioneers motion to advance how the world moves.